Everyone, welcome to another mini-sode. This mini-sode I'm going to be looking at over escorts. Not that type of escort, but the Federation Starship escorts. Just to see what, give you some stats about them. If you're new, you're going to benefit from having a look, especially depending on what character you picked. So what I'm going to do is, first of all I'm going to stand up, because, you know. Right, so as we're in there, wait for the game to load. So I'm going to take you through, basically through escorts, what they are, and what they're actually good for. So if we go over to this lovely lass over here. So depending on your level, you will be able to get an escort through every single one of these. It's not really worth getting the escort in the tier 1, to be honest, unless you want it for soldier. But having a look through all of these, you can see you've got some escorts in the tier 2, you've got escorts in the tier 3, escorts in the tier 4, I don't know very quickly, which is a bit of a shame. Tier 5, obviously as tiers are going up you are getting more choice of escorts as well. Let's go down, that's all of them. And then up to the tier 6 escorts, which you can also get the fleet variations in the tier 5 and tier 6. But if you are just starting out and you may be a low level, if you have picked tactical class, then the escorts are really going to be the best deal for you, to be honest, because they're actually going to pump out a lot of DPS. So if we take a little look, which one? We'll go for a pretty standard one, I think. We'll go for a well-known. We'll go for a very well-known pilot. If you look at the escorts, you're going to see that you've got 5 full weapons on this one and 2 aft weapons, which is actually a pretty standard weapon count for your little escorts like this. You'll have console slots, as you can see there. You have more tactical, and normally on the officer stations you will have a tactical boosted station. This is 2 types of escort, so you have got a science one there as well. Things with escorts, they pump out a lot of DPS, but the problem is they are actually pretty low on their hull. Their shield modifier is pretty low. Their base turn rate, however, is absolutely fantastic. They are as quick as anything, so you can really get around and do whatever you need to do. If you have a look on there, the base hull on this is 43,650. Now this is a tier 6, obviously. It's going to decrease with the lower tiers that you're on. And the shield modifier is only 1.05. It isn't the worst I've ever seen, but it's still not up there with like your science class, but that's what that's designed for. So they're pretty quick, they're pretty nimble, and they pump out quite a bit of DPS. Obviously you have all the different variations as well. Good thing with escorts, you can equip heavy cannons, the heavy dual cannons, which if I take you onto mine, you can see I have them on here. So these are your dual heavy cannons. They can only be equipped to escorts and I believe actually dreadnoughts. Pretty pointless on dreadnought. But your escorts are where you're going to really want to be, because you can literally turn around straight up there, fire away, and you're quick enough to instantly turn the ship back around again. So they're pretty nifty in getting the DPS out there. There's not really much else to it. You do have an experimental weapon with most escorts, which you can get the electronic plasma, you can get the flak shot from Reputations. The experimental railgun here actually came with a ship pack that I bought. But as you can see here, you do have, like I said, these are the consoles. So you have got those 5 tactical consoles at the bottom. You've got 2 science consoles and 4 engineering consoles. But this is the NX escort, which is absolutely fantastic little escort to be going for, especially if you are looking at going for a good high DPS ship, because it is actually a pretty high DPS ship based on it. There's not really too much else for it, so if you are a tactical, I would be going for this. I'm not saying if you're engineering or science, don't go for the escorts, but you're going to benefit a lot more from it just because you're going to be able to pump out that DPS a lot quicker than what you would be on other ships, and they're a lot more maneuverable. It takes time getting used to the flight speed. If I take you in there now, I will quickly show you that how quick they actually are at turning. And it's pretty nippy. Very difficult for other targets to actually lock on to you. Not so much the AI, but if you do go for a PvP role, it's a little bit more difficult because you are small. So smaller targets harder to manually lock on, especially if there's model people. Right, so just standard impulse. You see the turn rate is actually pretty high. You can equip consoles to make it a little bit faster, but you don't really need to, so I really wouldn't worry about it. But they are beautiful little ships, and they pump out that DPS that you're looking for, and they're pretty easy to use. Once you get hold of the maneuvering, it's pretty easy. But that's it for the mini-sode. I hope I gave you a little bit of insight. It's probably not much information to go on, but I would recommend definitely going for a tactical if you are a tactical officer going for an escort. And that's going to help you out quite a bit. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I would appreciate it very much. And as much as it is now, I'm going to have to say goodbye. Bye.